Woohoo! He earned the badge. Let's read.
Now, let's see what life is like on Melody Street.
It's Saturday morning, the sun barely up, yet Barry Bassoon's on his second coffee cup. Reading the paper like he does every morning, in walks Abby Obo, still yawning. He kisses his wife and he walks out the door, works 7 days a week and wishes there were more. At the strings kitchen table sits Father Bass, as cello pours tea with ease and with grace. Bass mixes in sugar, heads in for a sip, but the tea is too hot and he blisters his lip. Then enters Vicky Viola with a spectacular swirl.
Good morning,
Says Mum to her favorite girl. Vicky is dancing. She's bending and leaping. Where is your brother? Asks Father. Still sleeping? Val's in his bed. He's deep in a dream. He's captain of the school's basketball team. They're winning, 107-0. He scored every basket. And now he's the hero. Then all of a sudden, he's back in his bed. Nothing was real. It was all in his head. Heidi Horn in the garden, catching some sun. It's bad for her skin, but it's far too much fun. At the other side, Sammy and his favorite ball. He kicks it at the crumbling backyard wall.
keep it down.
Says Heidi,
I'm trying to rest.
but Sammy rudely ignores her humble request. In the meantime, Timmy Trumpet is planning a mission. Balloons filled with water are his ammunition. He's opened his window, and it's safe to bet that in a moment or two, someone's gonna get wet. He's looking for targets and takes aim at snare. But Sammy is a bully and Timmy won't dare. Next he aims at his sister, then he thinks twice. He promised his father he'd try and be nice. So he's looking around from inside his flat when he spots old lady Harp's favorite cat. It's the one that is noisy and goes through the trash. So he aims, releases, and waits for a splash. But the cat is too fast and he scoots out of sight. The balloon hits Sammy, to Heidi's delight. Then out to the yard come oboe and flute. Both carrying easels, they look very cute. Oboe paints flute, flute paints her mother. They often enjoy painting each other.
Come see my painting.
Says Phoebe when she's done.
Pretty.
Says Mother.
Let it dry in the sun. How do you like mine?
Asks Mum with a wink.
Not bad.
Says Phoebe.
It could use some more pink.
Then Phoebe paints a flower in yellow and blue, embraced by the sun and kissed by the dew.
How lovely.
Says Mum.
Who is it for?
But Phoebe won't say and just stares at the floor. Up in his room sits Val Violin. He's looking at Phoebe with a blush and a grin. Val loves Phoebe like the shore loves the sea. He would love her forever if she'd only agree. But sadly, Phoebe barely knows he exists. He's thinking of ways to change all of this. He'll give her a flower, a rose or a lily, though his allergies say,
This idea is silly.
he'll write her a love song, both tender and sweet, if he knew how to carry a tune or a beat. Maybe send her a letter dipped in perfume. All this he is thinking, but he stays in his room. Benson Bass settles down on a chair in the nook. He plans to relax with a pipe and a book. These rare, quiet moments are ones he enjoys. Then all of a sudden, a horrible noise. It's an earthquake! Yells Bass, his voice filled with fear. Jumps out of his chair, his panic is clear.
Relax.
Says Cello. Then she declares,
It's no earthquake, my dear. Just timpani upstairs.
What horrible manners, says Bass with a frown, and yells at the ceiling, Hey Tim, keep it down! Above, Tim is marching with precision and might. He is practicing left and mastering right. Next week he will lead the Seaman's Parade, and he must get it right. No mistake can be made. Mary Marimba is there, cheering and clapping. Such noise they both make, still Glucky is napping. Snuggled up in her cradle, all tender and sweet, her little hand swaying and keeping the beat. In walks Sammy. He is wet and he's cold. He might be a bully, but only 8 years old. Marimba yells out,
My boy, come to Mom. What monster did this to my little baby drum?
Don't worry.
says Sammy.
Everything's fine. Sooner or later, revenge will be mine.
That's no way to talk.
Says Mum with concern. When raising her kids, she's loving, yet stern. Trombone in her kitchen is cooking a meal. There's meatloaf to bake and potatoes to peel, a chicken to roast, salami to slice, a salad to cut and brown rice to spice. From counter to stove, from oven to sink, she doesn't have time to stop for a drink. Then Tuba walks in. his mind set on food. "I'm hungry," says he, "and something smells good." But good is a matter of personal taste, and one man's treasure is another man's waste. If you asked Lady Harp what she honestly thinks, she would probably say,
Trombone's cooking stinks.
in her basement apartment with a sniff and a cough, she closes her window, 'cause she's just had enough. Now it's plain to see that something is wrong. None of the neighbors are getting along. Not the children, the husbands, or even the wives. Then one sunny morning, a new neighbor arrives.
Can they all learn to play together? Stay tuned for the next book.
Woohoo! The book is complete.